Good morning, YouTube family. How y'all doing today? I hope y'all doing great. Right now, it is what it is. I am not very far. I didn't get very far today. Yesterday, I had it all planned out according to what everybody give me suggestions, and I appreciate the comments and the suggestions. And I had it down pretty good what I planned on doing. The only problem is reality set in, so it didn't happen. Well, it's a long story, and maybe I'll do a video and explain that to you later on today when I stop again. But anyway, that being said, I did not get as far out as I wanted to with the amount of time I had left on my clock. So the problem is, it wasn't the clock issue this time, it was the shipper. So never take what is written on your trip. Never take that for granted, because it may not be true. Okay, let me say that correctly. It may not be true, even though they say it's a drop, even though they say it's this, even so you can get there 24 hours in advance, all that. Don't assume that is correct, because what's funny about all this is that I had my trip. I was supposedly able to get there 24 hours prior to my actual appointment, which would have been while I was still on sleeper berth. My 10 hours hadn't been completed, so I made it the idea that says, okay, so since I have 24 hours, I can do it in between this time. So I left Pennsylvania, or early in the morning, say 5. Well, I stayed around till 7, and then I got on the road and headed towards my 01, the shipper, and everything seemed to be going good. I mean, the timing was right. I stopped, made my first fuel stop according to what Prime's new deal is that comes on your deal. I tried it and see if it works, and so far it's okay. But anyway, got past all that, and then we got down to where I had to make my turn off to go to my 01, and of course, in Ohio, Pennsylvania, and the Northeast, let me tell you, you're not going to go on any highways, hardly at all. You're going to go on secondary roads, 2-lane roads, curvy roads, hills, mountains, you name it. I didn't compensate for that, and what I need to start doing is looking at my atlas, and start looking at my location on what route this Qualcomm is going to take me on. So with that being said, everything was going fine until I made the cutoff. When I made the cutoff, oh Lord, when I made the cutoff, I lost the lens. Anyway, so I made the cutoff, and that's better. I made the cutoff, and I had 90 some miles left to go to. I had a little bit over. I had a little bit less than that, but I had to take the trailer to a washout nearby, about 11 miles away from my 01, to make sure it was clean before I turned it in, supposedly. So I got all the way down there, 90. This is the 2-lane road, backwoods country, old country style towns that this truck and trailer, barely fit through. And with all the rain it's been having in the Midwest and the Northwest, well, not Northwest, the Midwest, central part of the United States, Michigan, Ohio, and all them, I got on these roads, and I'm telling you, they were 20 mile an hour, 15 mile an hour curves, up and down hills. Some of them were not steep grades. I'd say 5 to 7% grades. But it caused me to drop my speed down to 30. Sometimes I was running maybe 10 mile an hour, 15 mile an hour around these curves, just so that the trailer would clear the curve and not hit poles or trees or whatever. So that was deterrent. So it kind of backed my time schedule off just a tad bit. No big deal. It's what it is. Went through a couple of towns that the roads were closed due to flooding, but the main road through the town was clear. There was places that the water was level with the road as I was going through, not on the road, but level with the road, and I kept going on, whatever. Finally, I get on a decent highway, Interstate 35, I believe, it runs through Cincinnati and south. Anyway, when that was done, then I turned around and got to my washout, got that done and everything. And I sit there and took my 30-minute break, because I if I go ahead and do it, you'll have the extra time later to go on down the road. Little did I know, once I got to my location, and I'll warn you about this. In Wellston, Ohio, if you go to the Pillsbury, it's the Pillsbury plant, General Mills. It's not a bad facility, don't get me wrong, it's pretty decent. You pull in, the guard gives you a little piece of paper you got to fill out. He tells you to go park in a holding yard out front of the deal. You go into the receiver or shipper, whatever, and you tell them what your numbers are. You turn the paper in, and this is where it gets complicated. I was under the impression that we were dropping a trailer and picking a trailer and going. And don't get me wrong, some of the prime did that. Well, apparently, since I was early, that wasn't the truth. But nobody told me that, and I'll explain this a little bit later. Once I got there, she told me to go sit in my truck, and she'd call me when she was ready. I said, "No, where's the trailer at?" She says, "No, you don't have a trailer." And I said, "Well, ma'am, it tells me it's a drop and hook." And she says, "No, it's not a drop and hook." Okay, misinformation one. Anyway, I said, "Okay, fine." So I'm sitting there going, well, there go kills my day. So anyway, so I'm watching my clock, and and I'm sitting there and I'm watching the 14 deplete. Now the 14 gets past the 11-hour drive, so I'm basically running on the 14-hour clock. In the meantime, I'm not hurting 70. I'm off duty. I'm fine. So anyway, I get a call about an hour and a half later. She said, "Okay, I need you to slide your tandems. I need you to take your trailer to door number 16. I need you to start your reefer, set it at -1, miscellaneous frozen. Start it, let it run a little bit, kick it off, back in, disconnect from the trailer, and you need to go to B-Lot." Okay, where's B-Lot? Well, it's up on the hill. Okay, fine. So I went to a holding area for the bobtail. So I had to drop everything, back into the dock, and then I went out and sit on bobtail. 3.5 hours later, I get the call, "Come and get your trailer, you're ready to roll." 3 hours later now. Meantime, 14-hour clocks just tick, 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 tick. So once I got that done, I had about 3.5 hours left on my clock. And that killed my whole plan of attack. So I took off, I don't know, I cleared about 4 o'clock, I think it was 4:45 or something that way. So I took off, got down here off of 35. I'm hitting 71 up here just before you go into Cincy or Cleveland or one of those towns up there. And I found a TA and was able to stop. Now, with that being said, I stopped, still playing the 8.5 hour rule just to see how this works. So I stopped, I did my pre-trip or post-trip inspection on my vehicle, and then I shut her down for the day. So basically, I'm starting over again. I still have over 600 miles to my 90. I still have one more fuel stop to do in about 380 some miles, and I should be able to get close, but I'm not going to get there like I'd planned on. I was hoping to be there this evening, just sit there and wait till, because Walmart DC in Harrisonville, Missouri, S and K, okay, for getting in and out of that place. I mean, it's a total madhouse. And I just hope the heck they have trailers. Last time me and Jamal was there, they didn't have a trailer, and we had to bobtail almost 100 and some miles to get the dang trailer for another load. Anyway, that's a different story. But anyway, just to say, I had it all planned and ready to rock and roll. It just didn't work out for me. So anyway, guys, I just wanted to touch base with you. I've got to get ready to go. I got about 10-15 minutes before I roll. I got to do my PTI, which is pre-trip inspection on my truck, and then I'm getting out of here and rolling and heading that direction. I'm thinking I will be able. This is I'm not assuming, which I am assuming. I'm hoping that nothing goes awry like it did yesterday. I'm hoping to pull in about 560 miles today, and that will put me about 90, less than 100 miles out of my 90. I'm still good as far as the 90 is concerned. I don't have to. I got the whole day tomorrow to get it put in there, and I'm figuring if I can work it out right, and with my next 10-hour break, I should be fine. The only issue is that I gained 17 hours on my clock. I'm back to 17, but I'm gonna wipe out part of that today. I'm figuring I'm gonna have about 9 hours left when I shut down today, and then I gain only 3 hours and 11 minutes tonight at midnight, and that'll give me a little over 12. And I'm only thinking I'm gonna be out. I gotta watch the clock then. That's gonna be the key, whether I get dispatched out there to go somewhere that day on Saturday or what. Because I talked to my fleet manager as well, and I asked him how's it going to look like for freight this weekend, since it's Memorial Day weekend. and he's pretty convinced that he can get me a load out. So that's okay. That'll work. I need to get more loads out, man, because I got my settlement documents this morning, you know, and I'm just not happy with it, you know. I mean, it's what it is what it is. But I didn't get good loads last week. Last week's basically sucked. You know, the amount of loads, because it was two Florida loads, which don't pay crap. I mean, one decent load in and 2 loads out, and it didn't work out very well. I didn't make very good money this trip. So hopefully, and I got a feeling it's going to happen again this week if I don't get a good size load. I need a good paying load. If it goes through to Wednesday, I don't give a shit. I mean, give me a big load, but it's got to pay good money. I mean, either that or you're going to have to give me a load for the weekend and one more before I can put it in on Wednesday, so at least I can break either even or get a little bit of money back, because I can't live like this. It's not going to work for me. I've got to make money, and I've got to make it to support my wife and me and the house and our bills and everything else. She ain't going to be too pleased when she wakes up and sees the pay stub this week. But anyway, that I ain't worried about. But anyway, just ranting and letting you guys know what's going on. I just want you to know that everything's cool. We're going to be doing what we can, and we'll go from there, guys. I'll be able to get in touch with you soon. Thanks for the comments, the likes, subscribe if you haven't already. If you're interested in coming to Prime, go to work for them. Please put me down as a referral for you, you know, on your application. My driver's code is BARCUD. It's BARCUD. I would appreciate that. That helps out a lot too as well. And I want you all to be safe out there today. It's coming up the weekend. Today's Friday, so everybody's running around because it's Memorial Day weekend, so a lot of people are off. So be careful out there and be safe, okay? And always keep remembering, we keep striving and striving for perfection. Y'all have an awesome day. We'll talk soon. Bye.